Technology is a part of our everyday lives, and schools want to make sure their students are educated on how to conduct themselves online. Today, an attorney with the KSB School Law spoke to students in South Sioux City about the dangers of social media and texting. Over the last 15 years, Karen Hasse has traveled to different school districts to tell students what not to do on the internet. Things like making threats to a school or classmates, capturing video without consent, catfishing, and sending nudes or inappropriate pictures. Most importantly, she shared court cases as examples of the potential consequences of those activities. And for some students, this was an eye-opener.
It just shows you that can happen to anybody. I mean, they're just so young. Like, she gave examples of 10-year-olds, and I just think it's crazy.
I think it's really helpful because there's like concrete evidence that this stuff is happening and that it's important to know and be informed.
Not only did Hasse share the consequences of students' actions, she also encouraged parents to be informed as well.
The one thing I would want parents to know is there's not a technological solution to this. I think the answer to this is that parents have to get online and live online alongside their kids, just like they're living in real life alongside their kids. There's no filter telling your kid they can't have a phone. They're going to find access to this stuff. And so adults educating themselves, I think, is really important.
Hasse gave 3 presentations today, one to 4th and 5th graders at the elementary schools, one to middle schoolers, and one to high schoolers.